Live from WFSB, Connecticut's first choice for news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5:30.
A campus at risk, a shortage of firefighters at UConn. The University of Connecticut has some students there wondering if they'll be safe in their own dorms. Good evening, I'm Terzi.
And I'm Denise DeCenzo. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Eric Parker has more on the story.
UConn freshman Jeanette Brito lives in a dorm on campus. When one of her fellow students left a straightening iron plugged in, the fire alarm sounded, and fire trucks arrived quickly.
It happened like twice, too. And they came here really fast.
And students say incidents like that show why UConn benefits from having its own full-time fire department.
We spend over $3 million a year just for our own fire department to assure the safety of our students, our faculty, and our staff.
Staffing issues mean the department has just 5 or 6 firefighters on for each shift. And when 2 are out on an ambulance call, sometimes only a couple firefighters answer a call for help. University Chief Operating Officer Barry Feldman says the school relies on neighboring towns and sprinkler systems in nearly every dorm. He feels comfortable with current coverage. He even has a son who's a junior living on campus.
As a parent, I feel very safe with my son sleeping in the university's dormitories.
The university says plans are already in place to hire 2 more firefighters. By their count, that brings the total number of uniformed firefighters to 31.
As a main provider of fire services, we may in fact decide over time that we need to add more people.
But for now, UConn says everything's fine and help is ready to roll. In stores, Eric Parker, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We're continuing to follow developing news in Cheshire, where a mother and her 2 daughters are dead after a violent early morning invasion at a home there. The father of this family is in the hospital now. Police say 2 suspects broke into this home on Sorghum Mill Drive, held the family hostage, and then set the house on fire. The suspects were taken into custody after they tried to drive away from the scene, and they crashed into a police cruiser. Coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 6, we'll hear from neighbors who live in this normally quiet street.
Crews are busy tonight trying to clean up a broken sewer pipe in Rocky Hill. It happened this afternoon on Dividend Street, right near Rachel Street. And there was a backup of sewage into 4 homes in that area. The roads have not been closed. Crews do hope to have the mess cleaned up by tomorrow morning. New tonight at 5:30, police in Thomaston looking for a man who held up the Thomaston Savings Bank. We want you to take a good look at the surveillance picture that I believe we have. Police say the suspect walked into the bank on South Main Street on Friday afternoon with a black briefcase, handed the teller a note demanding cash. He fled in what was described as some sort of GMC truck. If you have any information, I regret we don't have that picture. If you have any information on that holdup at Thomaston Savings last Friday, call the police.
We now know the name of the victim in the deadly motorcycle crash in Cheshire. Police say 35-year-old James O'Brien, Jr. of Wallingford, was thrown from his bike after colliding with a car on South Meriden Road yesterday evening. Police say O'Brien had just come over a hill when he slammed into the car. The driver of the car suffered minor injuries. State police have identified a man who drowned at a state park in New Fairfield. 27-year-old Celso Turcuri Rivera of Bridgeport drowned yesterday at Squan's Pond. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you the park. Police say he was outside the designated swimming area when he went under. Turcuri Rivera was taken to Danbury Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
Connecticut-based insurance company paying big bucks after an investigation by the State Attorney General's office. The Hartford is going to pay $115 million in a settlement. Investigators turned up hidden fees and costs charged to consumers. They also say small business customers of the Hartford paid higher prices after insurance companies colluded with fake bids designed to increase prices.
There's no competition, and they are deceived into thinking there is competition.
The investigation was run by attorneys in Connecticut, Illinois, and New York State.
The home of the Connecticut Defenders is in some need of major upgrades. Dodd Stadium officials report the facility requires more than $600,000 in upgrades after this season. They say the current sod on the playing field needs replacing. The stadium would also like to fix some slippery bathroom floors.
The plan to help preserve a river in southeastern Connecticut has been blocked by Republicans in Washington. Pinpoint News Tracker shows you the river we're talking about. It's the 8 Mile River. The proposal would have given a 25-mile stretch of the river near East Haddam and Salem federal status, so that it could get more money to protect the quality of the water and various species in the water. The bill's chief sponsor was Democrat Joe Courtney.
In Groton, a new look for an old restaurant. The new Oh Boy restaurant opened its doors this morning. It's a 24-hour, 100-seat chrome diner featuring home-style food, but with an outer space theme. The owner, John D'Angelo, hopes his Oh Boy will eventually become a franchise. He plans to open other locations in New Haven and Fairfield counties.
Truancy troubles in Hartford could be a thing of the past. It's all thanks to a new program that is aimed at keeping kids coming back to class every day.
And in just 6 months, there's been nearly an 80% improvement in attendance. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Susan Rapp is live with the mobile newsroom at Hartford Public High School with the information for us. Susan?
Denise, let's just hope that's a thing of the past. From what we know right now, here at Hartford High School, before this pilot program actually started, they had an absent rate of 289 days a year. Since then, the number has dropped to a little more than 100. Why? Because community leaders are getting involved. Carmen Banks is a Hartford parent. She also works at Milner Elementary. How hard is it for you to work at trying to get your kids to go to school all the time?
Well, I don't have a problem because my kid stays in school. Yeah. Like I said, I have a 10-year-old right now. He is in school, so.
Hartford has been dealing with high absenteeism for years, but now they're making some progress.
As you know, I may be the chief, but I don't do this by myself.
Hartford police are part of a new pilot program. They are working closely with 6 city schools to find out why children are missing school. Detective Cheryl Gogans has been working with students and their parents.
Why weren't they going to school?
For various reasons. There might have been some health issues in the families. There might have been some contacts for outside agencies that they needed to better suit themselves to come to school.
Police worked with 110 kids from February to June. Absences were reduced 41%. There were some incentives, some pretty fun field trips.
One of the most important things we've realized from this is really how important involvement is. The police, reading this report, you see how involved these officers got with the students, and it was that knowing that somebody cared that they were in school, knowing that there was some support system there, and someone who was following up on them.
None of this would have been possible if it wasn't for Travelers Insurance. They came up with $150,000. Hartford Police and the Hartford Board of Education would like this program to continue and even expand it, but they will need some more generous donations. For now, we're live at the mobile newsroom in Hartford. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, be careful out there. It's the season for online scams. Experts in our state say you need to be extra careful before you fall victim to an internet work-at-home scam.
And is your baby safe in the sun? More on how doctors have changed their minds when it comes to using sunscreen on babies.
And all new coming up at 6. Vandals are targeting a senior housing complex in New Britain. But now the mayor says he has a plan to stop it.
Rachel Lutzker pinpoints traffic trouble spots.
Area, we have reports of a crash and state police are now en route to.
Tells you how to get around them and gives real-time commute conditions.
Northbound out by exit 25.
Pinpoint traffic every 10 minutes. Tomorrow morning on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Now just into Eyewitness News, Price is Right fans, we know who's going to replace Bob Barker on the popular CBS show right here on Channel 3. It is none other than comic Drew Carey. He's been chosen to replace Bob Barker. The opening attracted wide interest from a number of stars, including comedian Rosie O'Donnell after she left the ABC program The View. Carey is also going to be hosting a new CBS primetime game show called The Power of 10. That will air first next month.
New tonight at 5:30, summertime could be the prime season for online scams. The Better Business Bureau of Connecticut says more people are susceptible to work-at-home offers during the warmer months when they might be looking for ways to spend less time in an office and more time outside. Experts warn to watch out for any scam that offers kits or guides to, quote, get rich quick.
Democratic presidential hopefuls, including Connecticut's Senator Christopher Dodd, will be squaring off tonight in Charleston, South Carolina. And for the first time during this debate, they'll be taking questions from the internet. Debate topics will be selected by a host from CNN from video questions submitted by the general public. The questions through the internet were submitted through the popular website, youtube.com.
A day of yard work turned into a scary ordeal for one Plainfield man, but he's okay thanks to some fast action by his little girl. We'll meet the 8-year-old hero coming up.
And a most unusual spacewalk. Why astronauts aboard the International Space Station were busy today.
Eyewitness News, honored by the Connecticut Associated Press for best weathercasts.
You've ever thought about how many people have tattoos these days? You'll see them at the gym, at the beach, just about everywhere. But what about at work? Well, nearly 25% of Americans between 18 and 50 have acknowledged having tattoos. This is according to a survey taken last year. And big business doesn't seem to mind because, well, maybe it's because people tend to keep them under wraps from 9 to 5.
And in general, a lot of people say, you know, I deal with the public, you know, or there's a dress code. I can't have my tattoo show. And if say they get a tattoo like this, a sleeve, you know, we'll stop it here, which is called 3/4 sleeve.
Oh, nice resume.
And we're told that fewer than 10% of companies have actually established guidelines with respect to tattoos. This is according to one career counseling and research firm.
New Englanders love to hit the beach this time of year, but what should you do to protect your baby? Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kara Sundlin tells us doctors have changed their minds about using sunscreen on infants.
Mothers have been warned not to use sunscreen on babies until they're at least 6 months old. Now testing has shown you can use it on a baby as young as 2 months old. Dr. Tom Fromson of West Hartford says you should.
I think it was found that these preparations were safe and well tolerated and effective. And so that why not provide the babies with that degree of protection?
Moms we spoke to are already heeding the advice.
Try to keep him covered up. It's easier with him. He doesn't mind it, but her going into the water and everything, she wants to stay in her bathing suit, so it's a little harder for her.
Most of the damage done to our skin happens in childhood. Doctors say using sunscreen as early as possible is just another way to protect against skin cancer. But be careful which one you choose. Babies are sensitive.
To avoid the combination sunscreens that include insect repellent. I would recommend the screens that are what we call hypoallergenic. If possible, avoid an ingredient called propylene glycol, which is ubiquitous in most lotions.
There are plenty of sunscreens that are marketed for children, but doctors say so long as you choose one that's free of any irritants, you can buy whichever brand you choose. It's important to remember sunscreen is only extra protection. You still have to limit a baby's exposure to any direct sun, especially during those peak hours. Kara Sundlin, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, it's time to take out the trash aboard the International Space Station. The astronauts went out for a spacewalk today. Well, they have to take out stuff that they don't want inside the space station anymore. The purpose of the walk is to get rid of the outdated equipment, and it's very easy what they do. Well, they had a refrigerator-sized ammonia tank that is going to stay up in orbit. They estimate for 10 or 11 months, but then it will start falling out of orbit, and when it falls through the atmosphere, of course, it would burn up and just disintegrate during re-entry.
Now, Channel 3 Early Warning Weather, powered by Early Warning Pinpoint Doppler, tracking weather in your town and everywhere in Connecticut.
Still marvel looking at that video up there in space. It's amazing
great
stuff. All right, time now to check in with our chief meteorologist, Bruce DePrest.
Now, what does he see from his vantage point? Well, he's looking at hamburgers and hot dogs right at the moment, not weather maps.
Private residence fully engulfed in flame.
By midday, Cheshire police and firefighters reported that they had...
Thank you for having us out here in Norwich today.
I want to thank you. I want to thank WFSB as well as Big Y. And I'm so thrilled that I won this and that I could entertain my neighbors.
I have to tell you, I'm so impressed with your guests because no matter how bad the weather is today, and it's raining now and then, you're all troopers. You're not going inside. You're just hanging out here and having a good time, right?
Yes, we're having a great time. The food's so good.
Well, we got more good food coming, and we're going to go over to the grill and take a look at some of the specialty items that we have for today. Hello, Big Y folks. Constance, I have to say thank you for the Big Y umbrella.
Oh, you are quite welcome.
You're from the Big Y in...
Norwich.
Okay.
Right down the road.
Just a little 2
Yes,
miles away.
very
Some of
close
these people
by.
here actually walk.
We see them quite often. They're our good customers, so we're very happy to be here today.
Well, thanks, Constance. And our chef is Charlie.
Yes.
What do you got on the grill here, Charlie?
We have Black Angus ribeye steaks, right from the butcher shop.
Yep.
They're very nice and juicy steaks. And over here we have halibut steak from the seafood department.
Okay, so you're the seafood guy?
Seafood, yep.
Steve, the seafood guy. Now, what did you put on the halibut? Because that looks great.
We put our Borasi seasoning
okay.
right on the halibut, and we put some on the ribeyes, too.
Well, it's looking terrific. Now, how long is it going to take for the halibut to cook through? Because those are pretty thick fillets.
We should be done in about 5 more minutes.
Okay, they're waiting over there. So
I'm going
to get to some weather. All right, let's check out early warning pinpoint Doppler, and we do have a couple of showers in this state, and I can tell you right now that there's a few in Norwich. Channel 3's early warning pinpoint Doppler is showing a scattering of showers across the state. Generally, they're light, but you can see right over Norwich, right over Waterbury, New Haven, and on to Hartford. We do have some, raindrops falling down, just enough to put a damper on some activities outside. What about temperatures? Very much on the cool side. The normal high for today is 86 degrees, but right now it's in the 60s and low 70s. 72 in Hartford, 74 in Groton, one of the warm spots, which is unusual this time of the year, and it's 67 degrees in, the Waterbury area. We got a storm system that's just south of Long Island right now. There it is, just south of Long Island, wrapping that moisture in from off the Atlantic Ocean. But as that drifts away to the northwest and weakens, our weather will gradually improve over the next 24 hours. All right, let's go out to a wider view, and you can see that we have that storm pinwheeling around over the east coast, more showers and thunderstorms in Florida and the plain states into Texas, but we don't have to worry about that. We just have to get rid of this upper level low that's giving us all the clouds right now. So here's Channel 3's early warning futurecast, where we show you tomorrow's weather today. You see a lot of clouds at 7 p.m. and a little bit of green going through as the night goes on. That's some spotty rain and drizzle. As we head through the day tomorrow, morning clouds will give way to some sun, and it looks like we will have a couple of showers possible during the course of the afternoon, but I think a good part of the day is going to be dry, which is great news. A little bit better than today, and a little warmer too. Let's check out the forecast as we head through tonight. We're looking at temperatures generally between 60 and 65 degrees, and your highs for tomorrow are going to be in the 70s and 80s. So along the shoreline, temperatures are going to range from 76 degrees in New London to as high as 84 in Hartford and in Meriden as well. So temperatures are going to get back to where they should be for this time of the year. The beach and boating forecast, a UV index of 6 tomorrow, morning clouds, some afternoon sun. The air temperature is 78. The water temperature is up there at 70, and high tide is at 6:15 in the morning in New London. And your boating forecast, well, not too much in the way of wind on Long Island Sound. We'll have a southwesterly wind at 5 to 10 knots, waves 1 to 2 feet, and visibility less than 10 miles, especially in the morning when we'll likely have some fog to deal with, but things will improve as the day goes on. All right, here is your 3-day forecast. We're looking at some morning fog for the next for tomorrow, and then partly sunny skies, temperatures reaching the 80s inland, upper 70s at the coast. And for Wednesday and Thursday, look for partly sunny skies after some morning fog. And temperatures are really going to feel summer-like once again. With high humidity, we're going to see temperatures 85 to 90, both Wednesday and Thursday, with a little bit of relief at the beaches, temperatures in the low and mid-80s for the shore. We're going to be back at 6 o'clock with an update on our backyard barbecue, but right now from Norwich, everybody is saying goodbye until 6. All right. See you then.
Now, Rachel Lutzker in the Pinpoint Traffic Center.
State police have a couple of accidents in Hartford that they're clearing up right now. This first crash is along the eastbound side of 84, right at the 72 split. So do expect delays just moving in that eastbound side as state police are on scene. And a couple of accidents through Hartford, westbound side of Route 2. Not a major backup. You can see by the screen that we're still moving nicely, but once you get closer to the interchange here with 84, that's where state police are on scene with the crash. Extremely heavy east and westbound sides of 84, right out by Park Road on that eastbound side. We have another accident right around Park Road that state police are dealing with. Very heavy though, nonetheless, both sides of the highway. Before you get behind the wheel, get online. Go to WFSB.com, click on traffic, and sign up for free Pinpoint email alerts to your computer and cell phone.
An 8-year-old girl makes a call in a crisis and saves the day. We'll tell you her story coming up.
And still ahead at 6, we continue to follow developing news from Cheshire. A violent home invasion leaves 3 members of one family dead, another clinging to life.
Some of my favorite things for summer. Next, Oprah.
Tomorrow at 4 on Channel 3. Your home for Eyewitness News.
The team, 5 meteorologists.
Our live team coverage now continues with Mark Dixon.
Exclusive technology.
Another little perspective that we can give you with our exclusive technology here at Channel 3. I'm going to give you the latest and where it is headed so you can prepare.
More than 62 years of forecasting local weather. and the technology to back it
The
up.
most powerful Doppler radar system in Connecticut.
The team, the tools to track summer storms and get your forecast right. Early warning weather, only on Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
That's quite a story. A Plainfield man had a scary run-in with his lawnmower, but his 8-year-old daughter came to the rescue. Channel 3 Eyewitness reporter Dan Kane is in the newsroom to give us that story. Dan.
Well, Al, just before his serious accident with the lawnmower, David McElroy had told his daughter how to call 911. Neither expected she would have to put the lesson to use so quickly. David McElroy is spending a lot of time on his porch these days, with 8-year-old Jessica helping him out following a full-blown emergency.
I was on the back hill and I slipped and my foot went under the mower. I ran from the back of the hill to here and squeezed. I was holding my toe to stop the bleeding and the pain, and told my daughter to call 911, and she took it from there.
I told them that they needed to come right away, and I told them my address, and I told them that my dad cut his toe off.
David lost one toe and broke 2 others, and just that morning he had told Jessica what to do in an emergency.
You call 911 in case of an emergency. And
Did you ever think that you'd actually have to do it, though?
if in case of an emergency, yes.
You're a very mature little girl.
Thank you.
I can't express how greatly I feel about her right now. So she's definitely my best hero.
Jessica says it's a big responsibility taking care of her younger brother Jason and her father.
It's hard to take care of everyone. It's kind of take care of Jason and Daddy a little bit. It's just hard. It's just so hard. I don't know what to do at the same time. I can't do it at the same time. I don't know what to do.
David's pride in his daughter is as strong as his feelings about the mower. What did you do to the mower?
It's sitting over there, and me and him will have a day in later on. I will win.
In terms of the mower, this fight's not over? Is that what we're saying?
No. I will get a sledgehammer to that thing and take it out.
And if all goes well, David will be back on his feet in a couple of weeks. Until then, he has Jessica to take care of him. From the newsroom, Dan Kane, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.